One of the last tasks in the shop before Christmas, until I get back in full swing, which should be probably mid next week. This is Christmas Eve, if you know what I mean. Now, since I've had this milling machine, what, about 3 years now, maybe 4. Once I finally got it fixed, all the broke pieces, because remember, this is one that was gave to me, and I do appreciate it, but it was dropped out of a truck at some point, and when I opened it, it was all busted up. I never did replace this guide here, but it's fine. It goes down far enough. And some parts up in the motor was busted and down in here, but that's all taken care of. I have not given a good cleanup in all this time. So we'll take the vise off, check the cross slides. They're getting to be a little bit sticky, and I'm sure it's just dust, a little bit of metal debris. And before anybody says anything, you machine guys, yes, this vise is too big for this mini machine, but it was all I could find, all I could get when I got it. Now the little Harbor Freight ones like this will not work because the jaws are not high enough. They're not very steady, and they have this groove milled in it right there. Now I took one, it's hanging on the wall, I'm not going to take it down, and made some bigger jaws for it, but it just wouldn't work out either. So a proper vise works. Now those Harbor Freight ones work good on the drill press. That's fine for that. I've got 3 of them, I think, over there. But this works fine, even though it's a little oversized. Sometimes it's too big, but it works. If I ever run across a smaller one, a small one made for these, which I don't know why I have so much trouble finding one, but I'll get it, because this one came with a swivel base, which is still in the box in the cabinet over there. I can use this for something else. So hardest thing about taking this off and putting it back is getting it trammed in again, but I can figure that out too. Just 2 bolts hold it on. With the T-nuts. It is quite heavy. It's a real deal vise. And we'll clean that up later, after we get done with this. Before we put it back on is what I'm trying to say. Alright, now I have milled metal, wood, deer antler, all kind of stuff on this thing, and it works fine, and all that dust has settled down in there. So I'm gonna wipe it down good, brush it off, vacuum it, take these gibs out, and yeah, they're in the back. No, there's none in the back, it's in the front. Get them cleaned up underneath it, and just basically do a good cleanup, and I'll show y'all what it looks like here in a little bit. I'm not going to disassemble it. I don't feel that confident today. Alright, decided not to take this out, the gibs, because I'll have to take the whole thing apart, and I just don't want to do that. I blew all the dust out of it with the air hose underneath and the top, and everything is running smooth again and solid. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Got some Scotch-Brite here, piece of Scotch-Brite pad. Just want to clean off the top of it here. What do you call that, Waze? All I know about machine work is what I see on YouTube, and there's some very good stuff on there. I really enjoy watching it. I understand what they're doing, but I don't think I could do it. If that makes any sense. I would have like to have a little mini lathe though to go with this mill. Time to time that would come in handy. Just a very, very light surface rust on there. Alright, we'll get me a little bit cleaner rag than this. And I have about 1/4 of a can of this, which you cannot get anymore is what I'm hearing. I have no idea why. And we'll wax it. That'll help the rust. And we'll also do back here. It's lifted all the way up now, so we can get the ways in there. That's what they are. I'm sure somebody will correct me. Anyway, continue wiping and cleaning. Alright, got it all wiped down with the Scotch-Brite pad. Little acetone. And I keep my acetone in these bottles. It's some kind of high-dollar water that the kids get, or used to get. Supposed to be better for you, I don't know. But acetone and stuff like that comes in those cans, and those cans can be irritating to fool with sometimes. I'm just gonna wipe down these surfaces here. Now these get oil up in here. I'm gonna oil these instead of wax. And the sides. I'll put some wax on the sides. But anything that moves, and I adjusted the gibs in here, they're on the other side. I got it where it's moving real nice and smooth. Excuse me, just like that. Now walk around to the back side and get that in a minute. Take some of our good old Johnson's Paste wax. I don't know why they quit making this. It's been around longer than I have. And to work on anything, wood, metal, stuff like this, cars, car paint. People used to wax cars with it all the time. I have no idea. On there, and I won't bore you with all that, but just like that, see how much dirt's coming off there with that wax even after I wiped it. Let it dry. Another clean rag, buff it off of there, and then we'll get the vise cleaned up and we'll be done with this little project. Alright, I think I got it set up. Now we're going to indicate the back edge and see how far off we are. It's just eyeballed. Starting at 0, we're off a little bit. Okay, we're off a good bit. Okay, so let's go back this way. Bump it off a little bit. It would help if there was a motor on this thing, but there's not. They don't have to be on exactly 0. The dial don't. As long as we don't move around much. Alright, that's all the travel I have. just want it really, really close. There's no precision about this for me. You know, for what I do. There are better indicator setups than this. That's just what I have. Finest Harbor Freight tools available. Alright, let's see if we can go back to back on 0 again. I think we got it. Yep, that's all the travel. I would just snug down the T-bolts. Like that. And that's that. Put that back in the toolbox till we need it again. Last step. See, let's crank it back over here, center again. "200 years later." If any of y'all have kids and grandkids, y'all know that quote comes from SpongeBob. Alright, got a little bit of oil. Put it up in there. Let that run down there. Don't need too much. And I put a drop of oil on the screw on the vise, so that's done. And there's all kind of modifications you can do for these things. Air shock to pull it back up. New gears and all that stuff. And honestly, that's just, I don't need all that. This works just fine for me. There we go. Milling machine clean. Oiled, adjusted. Ready to go to work. Now, everything in the shop is ready, cleaned, serviced, ready to get back to work right after Christmas, which is only a couple of days away. Thank y'all very much for watching. Thank you for your support. And we'll get some work done in a few days. Don't forget to watch the Christmas show tomorrow night.